You are going to do a great job, Anthony.
All right. Welcome to the winner circle, where winners fight off COVID and losers give people COVID.
Ooh, why do you say that?
Because someone gave me COVID and I hate it.
Sorry to hear that.
Special edition. Quarantine winner circle.
Ooh. Yeah, so also, you're not the Michael. Today's guest is Michael Cogdin, and he's also feeling a little bit under the weather as well. So this will be an interesting one. But guys, winners need to stay healthy.
Winners need to stay healthy.
Vitamin D, vitamin C, getting out in the
water.
Daylight. Well, that's a white claw. All right,
that's water.
You're like, I'm not feeling good. let me chug this. But Anthony, what do we know about Michael Cogdin? He's had a lot of good run this past year. U.S. national winner, Clash on the Corral winner.
Yeah.
And then in the past, he's placed at OSG, a 5th place, a 4th place, I believe. So he's always been right outside the podium. So
I would venture to say that Michael Congdon is probably one of the top 105s in the world that is severely underrated still.
Absolutely. I think he's still, we're waiting for that breakout contest. So lately he's been winning some decent contests, but I think he's ready.
Signature. He needs that signature win.
Seal it. But yeah, I've been in his situation. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's tough. You do a great job. You have even the best contest of your life, but again, that's either like a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
So it's
you don't get the accolades that you really deserve because the work you put in and the great show you had.
Exactly, but still, you keep chomping and you keep.
That's why you got to win.
So what do you think? Do you want to say anything before we bring on Michael Cogdin? He's waiting in our green room.
No, I just want to say it's been another great week, personally, professionally for me. So I want to thank everyone for the support for Camby, his YouTube and the podcast. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the show. Also, a lot of great feedback on your tutorial videos on Strength League. They're really having an impact on people. And that's the best thing about it is people are finding value in you, Nicholas Camby. So thank you everyone for, subscribing and watching. And thank you everyone for signing up for this Clash Pro Series qualifier. I can't say the exact numbers because I'm an idiot. They're not in front of me, but I do know that for the Pro Series, we have over 200 people signed up.
Wow.
That's insane.
And that's other class. So how many classes? Yeah, that's
80s, 90s, 64s, and 4 classes.
4 classes. Well, 50 each on average.
It's nuts. Well, no, the 82s because we opened the 82s as well.
So we have still 40 each on average.
But still, it's crazy how many people signed up. Wow.
It's cool. And Anthony, I don't know if you know this, but just this month for $20, you can sign up for Strength League for the first month.
We're going to put the link right here in the YouTube. So just right under there, click it. It'll take you right to the page and you subscribe.
Yes. And then, and the big things coming on Strength League. I have a program coming soon. So should we talk about that, or should we keep them waiting?
We could talk a little bit. Of course, it's my understanding, it's a press program, another heavenly
press program,
another heavenly edition.
Of course, we have the next. So this is what I used leading up to the log record. So every workout, all the percentages. So the kingdom of log is coming. So.
So this is the exact program that Nicholas Camby used for a world record. It's his program that he used on himself to transcend humanity, essentially.
So about 10, 11 week program, twice a week, log twice a week. So, it was heavy on the knees, but if you're feeling youthful, if you're feeling froggy, this is the program for you, especially if you have a max coming up.
Remember, my children, only those worthy can enter the kingdom of log.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, welcome back, guys. Now we have Michael Cogdin. Michael, if you guys don't know, was this past year's a USS Nationals winner, the 242 weight class. He's also the Clash on the Corral champ. In the past at OSG, he's taken the 4th and 5th in 2017 and 2018. And also back in 2017, he was the All-American Zone of Strength champion. He is Mike the Slice. Welcome to the show, Michael Cogdin.
I'm happy to be here. Always happy to talk to you too.
So, Mike, I just want to get right into it. It's been killing me all day. Why the Slice? Why is that your nickname?
Dude, I did not come up with it. So the short story of it was there was a post of me and now my ex-wife where we were sitting by a pool and someone posted, "Oh, hey, is that your new man slice?" I was like, what does that mean? So then I looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and man slice apparently means fuck boy. And I was like, oh, I don't like that at all. So people kept trying to say man slice, like, no, don't call me that. And I was like, all right, the slice. And then it just stuck.
And you're from Minnesota, right? Or
yeah, I'm from Minnesota. And last weekend I just moved back to Wisconsin.
So that's a headline. White dude from Minnesota has to look up slice on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, well, that's me.
All right, Camby, that was my only question. You're free now.
Yeah, that was the one question I asked. I said not to ask, but you did it right away.
Oh, why the slice?
Yeah.
He wanted to
I was curious if you're a pizza enthusiast.
I do love orange. Pizza. I had 2 pizzas yesterday.
I thought he just liked orange slices.
But also we had a few questions. Actually, it was the most requested question. Why the slice? And thank you for clearing that up right away.
Yeah.
You're welcome for asking it, Camby.
Thank you. But I think probably the coolest accomplishment and something I want to hear a little more about. I know I was there to actually watch it. But Waco, you showed up, of course, or 3 weeks out. It sounded like you had a pretty decent injury, had some doubts, but came in, won the show, qualified for Clash 2022. Tell us, walk us through that. Like, this were your thoughts. Were you thinking of backing out? Like, what gave you the confidence to go through the show?
Well, something that I want to preface, all of the competitions that I competed in this year were ultimately, I had a huge chip on my shoulder because I fully believe that I should have been in the finals at Clash on the Coast, but I didn't make it for whatever reason. It was a tough heat and I didn't make the cut. So every single competition I went into this year was with the air behind it of, I should have been at the finals, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows that. And a lot of it was proving it to myself because I took strongman like a break for about 18 months and I didn't do anything. I was getting divorced and all that stuff. And then to come back and make it to Clash on the Coast originally was a really huge accomplishment. So now my ultimate goal is to knock the dude off the throne. I'm trying to beat you.
Which dude? This dude?
You dude.
All right.
So that's the plan.
Challengers. Well, you're one of my favorites for being in the finals. So don't disappoint me there.
Don't disappoint
me,
the
dude. Best there.
But circling back to Waco, but tell us that, but of course, just what it took. Did you have to dig deep into that contest? But I know you had a chip on your shoulder. But yeah, tell us about Waco.
So I had a chip on my shoulder, and also after USS Nationals, I decided that I wanted to have a coach to try and help me out with the areas that I was really weak, which statically I've always been, I don't know, a couple percentage behind everyone else. I think I really make up for it with my speed. So I hired Tyler Young, and he got me a lot more statically strong, which pulled me through that competition. So building up all that strength and then getting that mid back rib injury, whatever it was, that really kind of shook my confidence for sure, because I was thinking I was going to lose all my conditioning, which I was going to get all my points in. But I just took tons of ibuprofen, and luckily that chiropractor that was there was adjusting that rib or the vertebrae that was hurting so bad in between every single event. So with Justin Loy there, I was pretty nervous that I wasn't going to win any of the moving events, but I just bit my teeth down and ground it out.
Yeah, it was a hell of a performance. I really enjoyed watching you in Waco.
In context, again, beating Bob, beating Justin Lloyd, just taking third at OSG.
Jesse Nelson,
of course, yeah. Pro. So of course, not beating all great competitors.
They're all pros, Nicholas, because they all got paid.
that is true.
He's made more than Jesse ever has at a contest.
That was a really satisfying competition, not only to overcome, the back injury or whatever. Like, if I was healthy and I would have been ecstatic. I mean, Justin's been on a tear. He's been kicking ass. And every time I've competed with Bob, besides at OSG, actually, the year that you got your pro card, Anthony, Bob beat me.
2017.
I think he took third at that Mid-Atlantic show. And before then, I was thinking, man, Bob is like unbeatable. He's so strong. So to beat Bob, Justin, and Jesse, who beat me at California Strongest Man, it was a pretty big win for me. You know, Waco wasn't a small accomplishment in my book.
Well, I think winning any of these regionals, end of the day, it's not a small accomplishment because the cream rises to the top. So you're going to have that top 4 or 5, 6 people every show, just like any big show, really fighting for the spot.
Yeah.
So if you can beat those guys, especially through some adversity, whether it be physical or mental, I mean, it's always something to be said for that. And that's why we have you in the winner circle, because you've proven that you have what it takes with all that, put it together to win.
I want to win. I mean, I want to be the best guy. I don't think anyone doing our level of strongman, if they don't want to be the best, I don't really think they should be doing it. I mean, you sacrifice so much to be in it. Why aren't you trying to be the best?
Right. Even casually competing, you sacrifice. It's ridiculous.
So much. Yeah. The food, the stretching, the chiro, everything. It's all consuming, man. It's not just a hobby at this point, man.
Indeed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yes.
When I think of
Nicholas?
Michael Cogdin, I think of someone that's very solid across the board. Do you think, is there a certain event that you think is your best, or do you have favorite events when you see it in the show?
Anytime I'm moving with any object, I feel like I have a very good chance of taking top 3, no matter who's in the field. If there's one event that I despise, it's circus dumbbell. So not looking forward to that 215 in the finals at Clash this year.
Just use your hips and then just launch it from your shoulder. That's all you gotta do.
My entire training plan is learning how to push press really well. But I think yoke and farmers are probably some of my best. And then I guess front carries of any kind, I'm pretty dang good.
Speaking of farmers, you know what kind of surprised me was, I don't want to say low barrier, but the low weight that was a world record, in my opinion. I thought the weights have been heavier than that before. Like when I first found out, it was anything over like 330 or something was a record.
Which all of us in this conversation right now have done routinely in training like a million times. So
yeah, it's kind of it's nutty to me to think that like we haven't gone that heavy in a competition.
No, it's just never been recorded. And I was just happy to kind of set a bar. I mean, I'm sure either of us could set something heavier than 351.4 that I set. I mean, it was just really making it an official record. So yeah, I plan to set that higher if I could, but I know other people can break that right now.
Maybe I'll do a 360 farmer at the contest next year.
Sure.
Make an event.
Yeah, make it official world record.
But yeah. Back in ASM 2018, we were supposed to have 360 and go 50 feet, but it ended up being 340 and going 40 feet. So it really helped out Sean.
Is Sean ever coming back to the 105s to compete?
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, he just battling. Again, he's had a lot of competitions and just all that weight over the years, as we all know. So he's just battling injuries, but he's at a good weight right now. So if he can get some of these things under control, he might sneak into some of these super series.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You never know.
Some pretty exciting characters coming into the Clash series, especially that Tennessee show coming up.
Yeah, that's a week away. That's gonna be an exciting show. It's the biggest one.
Michael, all right, Michael, top 5 from what you know. I think there's been a couple dropouts, I think, but who's your top 5 for that?
Man, I don't know the roster well enough, but I know.
Well, Anthony, can you pull up the roster for us?
No, it's a secret.
No,
it's not a secret.
I tell you, Frank dropped out, and AJ Adam dropped out.
What? No, Dirks dropped.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's who I was going to say with number 1. If he can handle the cut, he's.
Yeah.
I would have put Adam.
He probably needs more time, and probably see him in Jersey. That's I know he's pretty determined. I listened to his podcast and just hearing his voice. He said if he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. So
yeah,
I probably will see him in Jersey. But I was actually surprised because going from the Stone, which was on December 11th.
Yeah,
it's only been a month. Yep. He was doing it'd be a cut in like what, 5 weeks. So yeah, it's difficult. It's not easy.
And he didn't have a lot of head time to make that cut either. I think he was closer to 260 or 255 or something to get that. Yeah. He looked like a skeleton in that weight room.
Yeah.
Weigh-in room.
But of course, that was a great weekend. If I know I was originally supposed to be there, but unfortunately, I dropped out because I thought my knees were gonna break if I started training for that stone. But tell us that weekend about the stone, just the whole experience.
Yeah, give us a run. I wasn't there, so I'd love to get the rundown from you.
Yeah. Well, Darren did a really good job of promoting the whole thing with a short amount of time and not really a lot of manpower. And he had some good connections with V23 Athletics and the I'm from Denver crew, because it was pretty awesome because there was only 4 guys. So we all got highlighted extremely well. Everyone knew exactly why we were there. It wasn't necessarily a competition. It was there to set records, and kind of like the intimacy of only being 4 people really brought the attention to the athletes, and being able to have 2 people load a 500-pound stone, I feel like made a short 2-hour show really exciting, in my opinion, instead of being like the Rogue Invitational that took so long in between events, that sort of thing. I felt like it kept your attention pretty well.
I love it. I love the way he did it. I'm a big fan of, as you know, I'm a big fan of the more intimate shows like that where it's less people. Or the fact, like I've been saying, the athletes get the highlight. You guys get the spotlight instead of being lost in the shuffle. And it just creates stars. It creates the validity of you. It takes Mike the Slice and introduces the people many times over 2 hours instead of once, and then you go jerk off in the corner for 4 hours until you go again. Like we're done with that, and I love it because it allows you to be on camera to get the benefit. That should have been happening. So I love it. I love the way he did it. I thought he did a great job, and I'm very happy that we backed him because he kicked it out of the park, nailed it.
Yeah, their video crew did a really good job. And in addition to that, John Stacy, that's been doing little bits of promo stuff. I think it's been pretty high quality for just one guy. So I'm hoping he gets some more stuff.
He has a great talent. He has a natural talent for knowing what to film and when to film. Like, he's very good. He is very, very good at that. He's getting really good content. I'm loving to see him progress every time because it's getting better and looking better. And I'm very happy with that.
Especially when he puts it all together. He's done like every super series, and then when he puts like a huge movie.
I can't wait for the final product.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So Mike, why didn't you hit the 500-pound stone?
Well, I figured out after that week, because I was feeling extremely run down, and I was assuming it was just regular contest training fatigue, because I'd done 400 a hand farmers holds, and I'd done multiple attempts at over 360 to just peak for it. And I was loading, I think it was like a 22.5-inch 420 stone. I was just absolutely wrecked. So I assumed that this fatigue was coming from that. Later, I find out that I'd had mono, and that was the main reason why I was feeling so run down. Realistically, I don't think I had 500 pounds in me at all. I think I possibly could have got 460 had I been not sick, but I was super happy to hit the 430. That was a big PR for me.
It's a big stone still. I mean, we're talking about 500-pound stones, but 430-pound stone at 105 is still a big stone. Hell, Nick couldn't even load the 380 at OSG.
Yeah, that's a different situation, Anthony.
Well, when you put me in a contest with 2 guys loading 500-pound stone.
No. Winners don't make excuses.
And then did Isley was he the overall winner? Did he technically like have the highest sandbag, the tide on the stones, and then did the farmers run? Did you guys count points? Did you guys count points?
I'm not I think he had to have been. Well, maybe, I don't know, because he won the stone technically, or he tied with Adam, and I think he got the first bag height, which was maybe 17 feet with the 50-pound bag. I'm not really sure, but no one else wanted to do the farmers with me, so I was the only one that did that. Yeah, so whoop-de-doo.
They know their limits. That's why they knew they couldn't do it.
Possibly. Darren said that
But
for sure, that he
heavy farmers and stones. That's like a lot on the biceps. I can imagine.
I will say it was really strange doing farmers immediately after cleaning my hands with WD-40. That was kind of a weird sensation. I've never trained that way before.
Yeah, that is a kind of a wrench in the plans right there.
Yeah, but still worked out.
Hey, but winners win, and you got it done.
Yep.
Yep.
But speaking of which, Michael Cogdin, you've won a few good shows this year. What does it take to be a winner, and how does Mike define a champion? Got him.
Something I've always told myself, and I still tell myself, I've probably been saying this probably since 2016 or so, when I was starting to finally feel like I was in a higher level of strongman, is that no matter what competition I ever enter, if I perform my absolute best that I know that I can, I'm going to feel like I won. Even if I take last, and that might sound strange, but if I know I've performed to a better level than I've ever reached before, I will personally feel like a champion, because this is an individual sport. And ultimately, like, yes, we want to win and beat the people we're competing against, but self-improvement is the name of the game. And if you're not improving, you're either staying the same or going backwards. So I think a champion is someone that shows up and regardless of the circumstance, they give their absolute best. And that's what I try and bring. So if I'm beat up and hurt, like, no, I don't want to exacerbate what kind of injuries I have, but I'm going to bring the best that I have that day. And I think that's a champion mindset.
I don't disagree. I like that. That's something that's a little unique to our guests so far. But I tell you, I think half of winning is showing up. I do 100% agree with that. You know, it's something I've been, saying this whole time is with the series, show up. If you don't show up, what are you doing? Don't come next year talking about any of these guys that showed up and laid waste. And then you didn't even have the balls to show up.
Yep.
Because that you can't win unless you show up. You cannot be a winner unless you show up. If you dictate when you compete, that's not winning. That's, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like, I've never been a big fan of that. And I'm like, that's people like you, I'm blessed to have around in the sport because you show up.
Yeah.
And
I want to be the best 105 guy ever, if I can. And I don't know if I have that in me, like, genetically, but I'm going to push myself to see what I can do. And something to agree with you, what you just said with you have to show up to win, is people would say, like, Martins would have won World Strongman Man in whatever year if he would have been healthy. I mean, that's a terrible argument. He wasn't there. Like, why would anyone even say he should have won? He had something hurt. And this isn't a rip on Martins. It's just saying if Thor was there or Eddie was there, it doesn't matter. If you're not there, you're out of the conversation.
You know, I dealt with that in 2018 when I spoke to everyone. There was like, well, if Sean was there, if somebody was there, I was like, well, but they weren't. If they were, I would have made them feel bad too. Like,
right.
I don't care who's there. When I'm winning, I'm winning. So like,
right.
That hits home personally with me because I've dealt with that myself. And it's like, who cares who was, like, show up then.
Yeah. And if they weren't there, they probably weren't as strong because they weren't preparing for it. So, I mean, I think it's a completely invalid argument. It just,
if they want it bad enough, they'll be there.
Glory.
If they want the title, they'll be there.
What it turns out is it's an argument made by losers.
And then
winners don't make that argument because winners show up.
But when you're already lost, when the minute you say I'm not going to do this contest, you're out of the contention.
You lost.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You really lost.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So much of the sports up here, whether you have to, your body has to do a lot of it, but if you're not mentally strong enough to show up and be anxious and be like, wow, I'm putting myself out there, like, that's a whole other part of strength that people don't even talk about.
What the mental, I think what was it, Nick? It was like 3 months prior to 2018. I told everyone I was going to win worlds that year, and I just kept saying it online. And I was like,
did you like get a tattoo this year that said you're fucked on it?
I
or
did.
Was that years prior?
No, that was it. And I said it. I was not quiet about it. And I remember I showed up that year, and I was like, uh-oh. Like, I was like, I done said it.
I remember, but you did work. You did work very hard, and you like, I'm going to outwork everybody, and that's what happened. And And
But that's the mental thing he's talking about. Is you're putting yourself out there. If you are able to put yourself out there, a lot of time you rise to your own occasion on yourself because you did it to yourself. Like you're the one that made this. You made the standard. No one set the standard for you.
Right.
If you, it's what's the popular thing now? Vision boards and visualizing and all that shit.
I thought we talked about that last episode.
It's the same thing I did, except mine was publicly.
Yeah. You really put your nuts on a chopping block there.
That's what it is.
Vocal about it though. So like you put the pressure on yourself, which helped. It obviously helped.
But that's what it was. Yeah. I put my nuts on the chopping block. Same thing as a vision board.
Yeah. But what I like, what I liked what he said, Mike, and is what I kind of tell young lifters is that going into any contest, you always want to compete at the best possible competition you can with the best possible competitors, generally, so you can see it for yourself, but also to see how you rank. But when you go to that contest, like sometimes if you're inexperienced, you shouldn't like, it's great to win, but you can't always win.
Right.
And I just lost myself. let me just recompose. There's always a challenge at each contest, and even if winning is, you can still win without actually winning the contest. So if you beat yourself every show, you're always gonna do better and succeed. Yeah. So
right.
That's where I was going with it, Mike. All right, Michael, what do you think about throwing events and contests? Like, do you think they need to get out of here? Do you think we need to cut those out, or like, what do you think about throwing events?
Or do you think they should stay forever and we should have multiple throwing events?
It's kind of interesting that you asked me that, Nick, because we both had a hell of a time on that sandbag. The keg toss in the sand. I think it's an excellent event, and I just need to get better at it. That's really what it is.
That's what winners do, Nick.
All right, this podcast is over. Mike, what are you gonna?
Wrote my training plan.
What do you think? What have you been doing? Or once you're feeling better, what are you gonna do to get your keg up?
I just wrote all this down. I think what I'm gonna be doing is number one, axle squatting or camber bar squatting is gonna be one of the main things that I do, because so much of this competition is being explosive instead of just statically strong. So instead of working my upper body with like static strict pressing, I'm going to be putting most of my effort into being very well conditioned. Most of my static strength will be axle squatting, and my plyometric type training will be banded like squat jumps, just to continue working the push pressing power and getting that triple extension, because I always shortchange a lot of my push pressing by just going through my knees and not getting my hips or my ankles extended. So kettlebell swings, banded, band resisted jumps, and axle squatting are probably going to be like the main things that I do.
That's cool. So how do you set up the band jumps?
If you have pegs on the bottom of a power rack, you set that in front, and it's okay if the band will pull you forward a little bit, because it'll just kind of force you to push more off your toes, and you just do them like that.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
Always.
I need to get a lot better at throwing, because that itself, that one event, screwed me over.
Cogdin, start doing some muscle snatches.
I have those on my plan too. I even have it written down.
Another variation I'm a big fan of is the barbell single arm ones.
The single arm snatches? Okay.
For throwing?
Yeah, big fan of them.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. It obviously it's the unilateral movement, but it still builds up a lot of that explosive power.
Mm-hmm. Unilateral is something that everyone should be doing way more of, because I get caught up in doing everything on 2 feet and not moving, and always both arms.
I mean, I think it depends. I think if you have a pretty full competition schedule, I think it's okay to skip unilateral, especially at a high level, essentially because you're not worried about necessarily imbalances like a bodybuilder would be. But coming up in off-season stuff, I 100% reckon unilateral needs to be a mainstay in everyone's off-season program.
Yeah. Like split squats are something that I think everyone should be doing, or at least myself, and I skip them all the time.
Like deadlifts.
Hard.
Yeah.
I think single leg deadlifts are important. Unilateral dumbbell presses, if it's just like seated or standing, however you want to do it. I like bottom up kettlebell presses with
that's good grip too. Grip and wrist stability.
Yeah, well, if a 45-pound kettlebell's chest my grip, I got a problem.
I hope everybody has their notepads out and taking these.
Yeah,
notes
look at us.
down.
We're getting in some training
dropping a
stuff
lot
for
of
the first time.
knowledge. Mike, what kind of events would you like to see next year that you don't normally see in a strongman season?
I like really heavy front carries.
Ooh.
If it's too light and you can walk like 300 feet with it, I don't really care for it. But a super heavy front carry,
like a
heavy front carry is something that's impressive. If it's like 400 pounds at least.
Here's my
Congdon's wheel.
I love Congdon's wheel. I love that event. I think it's really hard as a promoter to have that kind of a implement and the space to do it.
But I don't know if you notice, you have Anthony, the super promoter, best in the world, best in the multiverse. So
I have a pen. I have a pen right now.
Okay. Well, I love front carry events of pretty much any kind. I'd say Congdon's wheel and yoke are some of my better events.
I was toying.
I love that we have a fridge yoke.
Yeah,
it's got a fridge yoke is freaking awesome.
What kind of fridges will you be using?
Whichever local charity donates them.
Oh,
nice.
But
nice.
I actually, fun fact, Mike, I'm actually toying with a minor event change in the finals. I might have an actual Husafell from Iceland replica made at 410 pounds.
Oh yes,
like the one they use at Rogan, all that.
Yeah. Would you make it that we have to be able to pick it up off the ground, or would it be on a? Yes. Oh my god,
it has to be off the ground.
So I'm toying with two things. I'm toying with having like a 380 pounder made, and the full one. And having a trump.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
So like,
yeah. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Now the only problem I've run into
is money.
No. Well, yes,
that sounds expensive.
It's always money, but also how to make it watchable.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's the tough thing when you run into stuff like that. Like, oh look, that guy just shit his pants trying to pick a stone up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have another.
So that's the problem with heavy.
You know?
Yeah, that's the problem with heavy stuff is that you run into that situation.
You have to make it set up in some sort of a fashion where everyone could get some sort of a mark, and that's that's the tricky part. If they're able to pick it up off a keg, I mean, everyone would be able to move it, but that looks terrible.
It looks stupid.
Kind of.
Hey, by the way, car deadlift. First off, Sean got 10 reps, so that's not my problem. That's a 105K problem.
Yeah.
Someone got double digits, so obviously.
Yeah. True. I mean, I don't think I
got 4 for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Good job on improving your deadlift, Camby, by the way. That's been super impressive to watch.
You know,
just little side note. I mean, that was a big struggle for you, and you've just been killing it, man.
For the viewers, if you want to know what my deadlift was like, just look at my throwing right now. It was the same exact. It was coming like bottom to mid pack at best. I was like, all right, there's the deadlift on the contest events. He's like,
oh,
I gotta pull it out. Yeah. So I was dreading it, and like just the throwing, I've done like a million different type of throws or a million different type of forms, and I kept changing my stances, changing like a straight leg and stiff knees and all of it. So
look, man, but everyone loves to talk about form and strongman like there's something that it actually exists. But if you get strong and explosive enough, you can throw a bag over a bar.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You could change some things, but people focus too much on the form with that event specifically. They think they can out technique their lack of explosive power, and it's not going to happen in that event.
If you don't have the strength to begin with, it doesn't really matter. You're kind of fucked.
Yeah, like technique, split jerk. Yes, you can out technique some people with a split jerk, 100%.
Right.
There are like a good hitch can get where people don't know how to hitch. I get it, but at a certain point, I need y'all to stop watching these YouTubers and start getting strong.
Yeah. Eat more food, sleep more, and lift heavier.
Get a thick upper back, and you'll be a good thrower.
Yep. That'll help with pretty much every event in strongman. Big ol' upper back.
That's 90% of my consultations. Like, here's my weakness. Where am I breaking down? I'm like, your back's weak, and you're your upper
good mornings and rows and pull-ups for days.
Yeah.
Dang.
Nick, that's you. Week back.
It's not. That's not true. It's just the power transfer from it just putting it all together. So even on the deadlifts, once I got in the right position, so don't worry, it's just something we'll chip away at.
I'm not worried about your throwing. Don't worry.
All right.
Well, when you can almost pull 800 pounds now, Nick, I think you'll be throwing stuff a little easier.
It just takes time. It's like,
well,
but this was Anthony did this too. He's just like if you want to feed the emotion. Anthony was actually used to be really tough on my deadlift. He actually was pretty mean about it. So, but hey, look what it did. So if you want to keep feeling the fire, Anthony, just do it. And I can just
look. If you want love, call your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to give you the reality.
Yeah. Well, okay. Herman, what's the reality for me improving my press? Because I'm still not as good as I should be.
You have a poorly developed upper body.
Yep. True.
I think that's a big part. You know, your traps and your delts need a lot of work. And I think if you put some mass and some size on those and just work a lot of lean back into your push press. So when you push press, you need to lean back a little more than you do. But that comes with having an upper body shelf that you can really rest on and be comfortable up there.
Okay.
So out.
Press and just do more upper body stuff then. Got it.
A lot of bodybuilding accessories, man. Get them dumbbells out, hit them heavy rear delt raises. Don't be afraid of laterals. Don't be afraid of some machine work. Just really get that pump going and build that upper body. Incline press with a Swiss bar. A lot of things you can do.
Cool.
Do you press once a week, Mike?
That's about it. When I was working with Tyler, I was doing it 2 times a week. And
you got to stick with it.
Well, that's depending on what you want to improve. Yeah, twice a week.
Yeah.
For the viewers, I'll be deadlifting twice a week sometimes, squatting twice a week, whatever you think needs to get improved. But don't want to go twice a week on some implements. Some implements should be like every other week. But
so when you set up if you're doing 2 heavy compounds, like if you're doing squatting 2 times a week, do you have like a volume day and then you're doing a day with triples or something, or how do you break that up?
Different variations, and then I would say like one would probably be more intense. The other one would probably be lower weight and probably more reps.
Yeah, I would always do. Okay. I would always, if I did heavy fronts, it'd be lighter back squats, and then switch it up the next week.
Okay.
When I was doing 2 times a week and pressing, a lot of times I'll do one focus implement day and then one like strength and accessory day.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, I hope you guys are writing this down.
Yeah.
Anthony, before I get into the questions from the fans, do you have any questions for Michael Cogdin?
No. I mean, I think my one question was the slice. That was the only question I really had. It was the burning question everyone had. So
the one question I didn't ask.
Thankfully, it developed into something other than the whole man slice thing. It's just kind of its own little nickname. So
I still can't believe you had to Google it on Urban Dictionary. It's the whitest thing I've heard today.
Hey, so questions from the fans. Mike, Chris O'Shea asks, what pre-workout gives you the worst diarrhea?
Worst diarrhea? Oh, man. I rarely take pre-workout anymore. If I take anything, I do take Pump Fuel Insanity, and I can't say that I've had noticeable diarrhea from that. Probably too much pizza earlier in the day. That'd probably be a bad pre-workout.
Yeah. So I hope that's a good answer. Chris O'Shea is a good wrestling friend of mine.
Nick, what was the question?
If you come a little closer and pay attention to
what's the question? That's the question.
What pre-workout gives you the worst diarrhea? Anthony Furman.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
It didn't work. It was a diarrhea soundboard I was pulling up. Damn it.
All right, Michael Cogdin.
I was paying attention. I was just trying to find diarrhea sounds.
All right. Ralph Pfister asks, what happens when you die?
What happens when you die? Man. I don't know. I guess that depends on what you believe. I'm not really sure what I believe on that one. I hope I go to heaven. That'd be nice.
So you hear it all. We hope to go to heaven.
That's the goal. Hope to go to heaven.
That's heaven. All right, continue.
All right, continue. All right. Samantha from Tennessee requests discuss the implications of the falling prices of cryptocurrencies on the global economy.
Which cryptos?
Any crypto.
Any crypto.
They're all falling.
They are all. I sold all my crypto.
So you say you sold all yours?
I sold all mine. Back
What is
in
it?
January, I put a little bit of money in a Shiba, and then I sold it all, and that's like why I'm okay right now. But with everything coming out with the news, I just sold it all.
Did you sell it when it was in like the 70s? No, like 6.000007.
Wasn't Sheba the name of the panther from Jungle Book? No, that was Bagheera. Never mind.
Yeah. No, I sold it when it was decent. I did all right with it. I made some money on it.
I'm a holder. I still have some Shiba Inu, but yeah, the whole market's going down.
I'll say,
Yeah.
didn't someone just tank Bitcoin? Didn't like a country tank Bitcoin?
Maybe, but it's a good time to buy.
No.
Buy low.
I invest in athletes, not fake money.
It's digital currencies. But strongman don't need to talk about digital currencies. That's not what our viewers are here for.
Now I got a headache. Thanks.
Mhm.
Thanks, Samantha.
But that's most of my questions for tonight, Mike. Anthony, do you have any
Cool.
comments? In closing, I'll be interested in terms of what contests that you're thinking about competing in, so I can avoid you, so I can keep my ego intact.
Well, I appreciate you considering me a threat. I'm pretty much doing Clash on the Coast, and that's my only focus right now. I've been feeling like hell with being sick for the last month or so, and I'm just trying to figure that out. But
So
yeah, that's my main goal.
You don't want to do like a show in Wisconsin and then a regional, then a sanctional, and then.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
It's not on my priority.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Are you sure? It's a lot of fun traveling.
Well, what I would probably do is now
You
that
could go to
USS
Sheboygan.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Where's Sheboygan?
What?
Where's Sheboygan?
Is that's in Wisconsin or is that Minnesota?
I don't know. It's one of the two. It's
Or is that Iowa?
I have no idea. I just know the
I
name.
have no idea.
Lake Minnetonka.
That's Minnesota. That's Minnesota. Well, after Clash, I'll probably go the USS route and try and win.
Okay, come to New I might go to that contest in New Hampshire. That's not too far from me, so I might either go watch. I have a few friends that are probably going to do it. So if the schedule is right,
yeah, you'll probably have to do it because I'm not doing automatic invites for finals. You have to actually win Canby to get an invite back next year, so you're gonna have to requalify.
Well, I was hoping to do the Super Series at the OC on 5/28 in California. That was my plan, because those are the circumstances, and I understand that we got to earn our place at the table.
I've actually softened up a bit. I think I'm gonna let the podium get an invite back.
All right, pick one. All right.
I think that sounds the most fair.
I do think I'm gonna soften my stance and let the podium get an invite, but not the top 10 again.
That's fair. And you heard it here first on the Strongman Winner's Circle podcast.
Oh, look how happy he is now. I hope you come in fourth now, so you still have to do the OC.
that would be tough, but
just because you're so happy about it.
I know. I like the final events.
I do have a question about the Clash events. When you said that the chain is going to be heavy, is it a different chain than we had in the heats last year?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape a bunch of lead to it.
Or you can find a big anchor or something?
No, it's going to be pretty much the same chain, but it's going to be the third part of a medley, so it's going to feel heavier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a good chain.
It wasn't a light chain. It wasn't like a balls heavy chain.
No, a couple of people didn't finish it, but having the farmers in there, that'll kill the grip. That'll make it a lot harder.
Hey, on drags, I realize I feel like I don't have there's a proper technique to drags. I feel I was doing like kind of the bent wrist and more like the short choppy steps, which I was in my quads a little more, but I would see guys have like longer strides, like someone that was Justin. I think Keegan started creeping up on me.
I always say do the longest strides you can until you can't.
Right.
All right.
That's what I always say. Cause like everyone says short, choppy steps. Like, bitch, this isn't a football drill. There's no ladder here. I want to move faster, and I move faster by taking bigger steps.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to talk technique, like the more links on the ground is gonna be more friction. So if you're able to shrug it higher, you'll have less links dragging on the ground. So if it's a matter of your leg endurance, if you can make it lighter by having it higher, like your upper back will fatigue faster, but your legs won't be as burnt out. So
take them bigger steps though, because eventually you're going to have to shorten them, but do that when you have to, not just because.
In the beginning, get that chain moving as fast as you can with the longer strides. You're going to burn out either way. So
Yep.
Yep.
But maybe I should just have a stronger upper back, just like Anthony said, and I'll figure it out.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
Drags were a big strength of mine when I was competing.
You've had it like one competition,
and I fucking dominated it.
Well, what's a good upper back exercise? Like you talking about, like more like face pulls and stuff like that, or more like seated rows?
Well,
rows.
That's a good one for me. Another the muscle snatchers did a great job in the upper back for me.
Okay.
But also heavy rows.
Cheat rows, man.
Yeah, the cheat
all day.
Like you're deadlifting, you deadlift to your shins and then row to your knees, essentially.
Yep.
What do you think about? I was doing croc rows with Thomas Inch today. For like
that seems frivolous.
Reps.
That seems frivolous. So
maybe frivolous.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
Also, it's 170 pounds. It shouldn't be a croc row. That should be strict.
But that's
why are you laughing?
Because it's not frivolous. I think it was just
do the barbell rows.
I mean, just like strict.
So do you have a landmine?
I like Swiss rows.
Well, do you have a landmine?
Yeah, I have a landmine.
So get a landmine, put a bunch of weight at the end of a barbell and row. Load it up, and you can row with that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably add more weight. But since you told me to do it, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Oh, that's all right. Don't win.
Don't win. Don't.
I thought this is winner circle, not I'm gonna lose because I'm a douche circle.
Ooh, dang.
This is gonna be fun this next year.
Douche canoe podcast.
Douche canoe. We can have two podcasts. One where we're just douches.
The doucher circle.
Welcome to Douche Nation.
Hey, Michael Cogdin, who should we have on as our next guest?
Have you had Eisel on there yet?
In our criteria is that they have to win a big contest, or win some notable contest.
There's got to be some winning involved.
Have you had Isley on there yet for hitting that record?
We talk about.
He tied. He shares a record, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Josh. But
yeah, we love you, Josh.
The minute you win a big contest, minute you win Clash, we'll have you on.
Yep.
Did you have San Lorenzo on here yet?
Oh, we have not.
Yeah, because he won Denver. Yeah, he won Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's our next victim, Anthony.
And he's going to be promoting my Clash of the 80s.
I was at, I don't know if I can talk about this, but I was.
The venue?
Oh my God.
That's
one of the coolest strongman venues I have ever been to. I was there. I walked through it.
Yep.
If they're able to pull some strings on some certain events, I don't want to say anything because if it doesn't happen,
don't say it yet, but I'm excited too.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Quite the venue that he found. So
this is for the 80s.
So it's going to be it's going to be Clash in the Rockies is going to be held the same day, but they're going to be separated by about 4 hours. So it's going to be Clash of the 80s in the morning and then the 105 regional in the evening.
All right.
Cool. It's an outdoor arena at a amusement park in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyone that wants to take a vacation and support Clash, they should go because they'll have a good time. Period.
Yep. I'm very excited for this one. And Denver in August is beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds like I'm making a road trip.
Yeah, it's actually be really cool. That's probably the best venue besides Hilton Head that I've seen.
I would agree. Yep.
Hey, Michael Cogdin, where can people find you if they want to learn more about Michael Cogdin?
Mike the Slice Congdon.
Mike the Slice Congdon. Michael Congdon on Instagram and my Facebook, Mike Congdon. I have a YouTube channel that I haven't really done anything with in a really long time, but I've been thinking about starting something like that.
You need to have an outro like in your events. Slice and dice.
We can figure something out. I'll talk to Stacy about his editing
Or
skills.
why don't you you should get a Fruit Ninja shirt made with you, the slice, but it's slicing fruit.
Or slice and Atlas stones or something like that.
Yeah, see?
That'd be pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
You can go a lot of different ways from the slice. It doesn't have to be a fuckboy.
No, that's not me at all anyway. So
exactly.
Let's get away from that.
Anthony, you have any closing remarks?
No, it was a pleasure for having you, Mike. You're a great interview. You made me forget that I was sick for a little bit, so that's fun.
Yeah, he was alive.
Oh, me too.
I was dead when we first logged on. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do this.
We both look pretty rough, man.
Yeah. Hey, but listeners, get that vitamin D, vitamin C, get some exercise, and keep working toward your goals.
Mango White Claw helps.
Don't listen to Anthony. Don't do that. Till next time.